He is a two-time All-Pro, a seven-time Pro Bowler, 54 receptions, 848 yards, 3 touchdowns on the season, more than 700 career receptions, more than 10,000 career receiving yards. He was a two-time All-American at Georgia. He was the 4th pick overall back in 2011. Arizona at L.A. Monday night. Great matchup. Wide receiver J.Green is my guest. AJ, it's been a minute or two since you and I last spoke. How are you doing, and what is the vibe like around the team as you get ready for Monday night?
I'm good. Man, the vibe's great, man. It's not a lot of team in our position, so we're just living in the moment, staying on top of the details, and then getting ready for Monday.
That sounds about right. J.Green joining us. So you're having a strong season, and you're putting up the second highest number of yards per reception for your entire career. I'm curious, what has the transition to Arizona been like for you, and how have you gone about learning and fitting into that system so quickly?
It's been a learning process each and every other week, man. But I just come every week and work and try to get better each week. But it's been a fun process, man. Being in Cincinnati for 10 years, had a great career there. Love Cincinnati, but things change. But they're having a great season. But being here in Arizona, it's been fun. It's been definitely fun.
J.Green joining us. Things do change, right? And it is a business. Back in camp, GM Steve Keim said this of you, quote, "The guy's phenomenal. I talked to Marvin Lewis about what a great man he is, such a quality human being. It's been great for our locker room. He is the perfect personality to be opposite a Hop. They are awesome together." I'm kind of curious, like, when you hear that, what's it mean to hear that? And then what's it been like to come into that particular locker room and that receiver room?
It's been great. I had no idea coming out here what it's going to be like or anything like that, but just playing along with the guys, Hop, Kurt, Rondell, we have a great receiver room. It's no egos in that room, man. Hop is a great teammate. It sucks that we lost him, but he's been a great dude, man. He's out here rehabbing hard and trying to get back. But my job is come in here just to work every day, show the young guys how to work, and go from there.
J.Green joining us. I understand also that Larry Fitzgerald is a guy that you learn from. Like, you're helping the young guys right now, but when you came up, he was one of the guys you learned from even before you arrived in Arizona. As one great receiver looking at another, what did you like about Fitz's game and the way he approached his career and his work?
I think just his head down and his work every day. He didn't care about the media. He didn't care about all that other stuff. He just wanted to play football, and I think that's who I am. I don't care about all the other social media and what people think of or whatever and posting and all that stuff. I just go out there and just work every day and let the cards fall where they may. And I think that's what I learned from Larry, growing up.
AJ, I mean this respectfully, but you're kind of like an old head in that regard. And if you're an old head, I'm like the oldest head ever. But, the kids, it's different, right? It's different right now. So when the young guys are coming up, I'm not saying that if you're on social media, it doesn't mean that you're not about your craft. But what do you advise the young guys when it comes to things like that, when they're like, hey, man, but this is what we do now?
Yeah, I think a couple weeks ago, Devontae Adams had a great answer to a question where he was saying, younger guys ask him, like, how do you perfect your craft and how do you run the routes to it? He said, because I run routes. I don't do all those crazy drills that you see on Instagram. The only way you can get better is running routes, and that's me. I'm very old school. I think the only way you can get better is running the routes that you run in a game, not all that other stuff. So that's my advice. Just go ahead and get your playbook. The routes that you run those routes and get good at those routes.
And get your head in that playbook. I saw Devontae say that. I think there's a reason. There's a lot of reasons why Devontae's Devontae, but that's a big reason right there. Mindset. J.Green is joining us. Something else you said when you got there, you don't have to be the guy. And it's not that you're demanding to be the guy, but you've always been the guy. When you look at an offense like that's got so many weapons where any number of guys could dominate a game, how do you go about sharing the ball and making sure everybody's included and everybody understands and embraces that role?
I think it comes in again with the ego, man. I think we all, Hop been the guy for a long time. I've been the guy for a long time. So we're not focused on stats. We focus on winning, and the ultimate goal is to win the Super Bowl. And I think, coming here, that's what's the goal. We don't really care about the stats. We've been the guy. We've been to Pro Bowls. We just want to get that goal. That's the biggest goal is to win a Super Bowl. And I think if you look at it like that, you don't care who's getting the ball. You just matter about who are we getting these W's and what can I do how can I capitalize when my opportunities arrive. So that's the biggest thing for me, just making a play whenever my opportunity comes around.
J.Green is joining us. Somebody else, AJ, who's used to being the guy, who's always been the guy, of course, Kyler Murray. From the outside, this is just me talking from the outside. I just think he's one of the most electric athletes I've ever seen. Certainly one of the most electric quarterbacks in the NFL. What's it been like playing with him?
It's been fun, man. It's a play when you don't think it's a play. So that's why I have to learn to where the scramble drills and the little things like that, I got to get back open. I wasn't really used to all that, quarterback running around. So for me, it's just getting my head around, make sure I see him, shadowing him, just work out scramble drills. So that's probably been the biggest adjustment for me.
That's interesting, right? Like, no play is dead. As long as that guy's still running around and he's standing up, the play is still alive. So, I mean, you made this pretty clear. This is about a postseason run. This is about getting to the ultimate game. I'm curious, the team did not end the regular season the way you would have necessarily liked. So how do you go about resetting quickly before the playoffs start?
The good thing is, once the playoffs start, it's a new season. No matter what you did in the regular season, you're there. This is about the team that gets hot. It's not but the most talented team. It's about the team that does the things right on that given day. And that's for us. We just got to stay down, stay into it, stay on our details, and play a solid game and a clean game. I think we'll be fine.
And it's interesting what you just said. I had this conversation with somebody else on a podcast yesterday that it's not always, quote, the best team, but the hottest team. When you talk about the details and cleaning things up, have you seen enough to know that you feel like things have been cleaned up?
Yeah, I think, this week we've been, a lot of guys we've been doubting, no joking around on the sideline, none of that, because, winner goes home. Loser goes home. No, we're going to correct this the next day and move on to the next week. So I think, our locker room, we have some great leaders. We have J.J. coming back. We got Budda. We got a lot of guys, K1, got me. So we understand that this moment doesn't come around very often for a lot of teams. So we just got to be able to put our best foot forward on Monday and try to get this win.
J.Green joining me for another few moments or so. I could ask you about any one of the guys you mentioned, but you mentioned Budda. AJ, is it me or is this dude playing the game at a different speed altogether?
Oh, yeah. I've been in the league for a long time. I've never seen a defensive player play how he plays. And the crazy thing, he practices the same way. He's the same guy every single day. It amazes me every time I see him. I'm like, this guy is unbelievable. Energy, his leadership, his passion for the game. I just never seen anything like that before.
AJ, help me with this. Like, you practice as you play. I get that. But if you got a defensive guy and he's running around and he's flying around and he's being physical, as an offensive player, like, you know he's trying to get ready for Sunday, but at the same time, and he's not looking to hurt anybody, is there a line that a defensive player has to draw about how hard to go in practice?
Yeah, he definitely understands how hard to go, but we understand it's Budda, and that's all he knows. But he's very smart. He's a smart football player, so he'll never put his teammates in harm's way. He's always like tagging off, but you see him flying to the ball, and he ease up once he gets close enough. But that guy, man, he's an unbelievable safety, the best I've ever seen.
Yeah, wow, that's really high praise coming from you. Really quickly, I'm curious, the offense, you had so many weapons like we talked about, and then the team adds Zach Ertz. I know that's somebody you've watched from afar from a long time. What's it been like to play with him, and then what does he bring to the team?
It's been fun, man. I've been a fan of Zach since, Pro Bowl days when he was in Philly, man. I'm just a big fan of his work, and I feel like he's probably one of the most underrated tight ends through these last couple of years. Just his detail, his route running, his hands, and people don't understand he's a great blocker as well. So,
AJ, one last thought. You're locked in. I understand that Monday's the thing. Like, it's the thing. But if you go back to that game against the Rams, you went over the 10,000 career yard mark. It's a huge number. It puts you in really elite company. I know you would say to me, yeah, but I got a lot of football ahead of me, and I believe that. But for right now, what does 10,000 career yards mean to you?
That's always been the goal, just to reach that 10,000 mark, man. And I had a couple injuries that set me back, but to reach that milestone, it's been a blessing, man. I definitely didn't take that one for granted, because I know how blessed I am. Because you got to play a lot of football and to get to that number. So for me, it's enjoying the moment, but understanding that I still can play a little bit longer and add on to that 10,000. So.
There it is. 2-time All-Pro, 7-time Pro Bowler, 2-time All-American at Georgia, Arizona at L.A. That is a huge game on Monday. AJ, really good to reconnect with you. I appreciate you very much, and I appreciate you coming on the show. That was great. Thank you so much.
All right, man. Thank you.
Thank you. AJ Green.